Hi everyone, this is a GCSE PE revision video on the topic of gaseous exchange. It forms part of the cardio-respiratory system and we're using AQA as our specification for reference. So it's important that we firstly understand the process of gaseous exchange. Gaseous exchange is the process where oxygen from the air in the alveoli moves into the blood via the capillaries, and where carbon dioxide moves from blood in the capillaries into the air via the alveoli. So the intention here is that when oxygenated blood is created, oxygen is passed through the alveoli into the capillaries. Hemoglobin is then combined with oxygen to form oxyhemoglobin. At the same time, carbon dioxide from the body is kind of carried to the capillaries. The capillaries, it then diffuses into the alveoli so that it can be breathed out. Now, one of the most common exam questions will ask you about key features of gaseous exchange. So identify is our key term there. That would be AO1. Gaseous exchange is our topic area. We're looking at the alveoli and features. So it's important to understand that the alveoli is the site of gaseous exchange and it's located in the lungs. And these alveoli are at the end of the bronchioles, so at the end of the network whereby oxygen enters the body. As you can see from the diagram, oxygen and carbon dioxide are constantly being supplied and removed through breathing. The lining between the alveoli and capillaries is 1 cell thick. That's really important in creating an effective diffusion gradient. Oxygen diffuses across the cell membrane of the cell that lines the alveolus, where it can then diffuse into the red blood cell, where it binds with hemoglobin to form oxyhemoglobin. Similarly, carbon dioxide diffuses across these cell membranes to eventually be expired out of the body. The concentration gradient is being held throughout the process, which allows the transfer of gas. For example, when oxygen is diffusing from the alveoli to the bloodstream, it moves from an area of high concentration, in this case the alveoli, into an area of low concentration, in this case the capillary. So you also need to know that there needs to be a large surface area. We need moist, thin walls and a short diffusion pathway or gradient so that oxygen and carbon dioxide are able to travel from alveoli to bloodstream via capillaries or vice versa, depending upon the part of the process. So let's try to relate this to some exam questions then. So here you can see identify 4 features. Identify 4 features of the alveoli. Gaseous exchange is our topic area, so we need 4 features. And again, we've just been through most of them. These are the most common ones: large surface area, moist walls, thin walls that are 1 cell thick, and we've got a great blood supply, or the surrounding of capillaries around the alveoli. A similar question then, split into 2, as we identified earlier. Name, that would be AO1. We need 2 of the air passages that allow air to enter the body. So respiration, I'm going to underline as our topic area. Mouth and nose, amazingly, would be 2 answers there. You're more likely to be thinking about bronchioles as part of that process. Now, describe what gaseous exchange is. So gaseous exchange, describe gaseous exchange and state clearly where, state is our thing, where it takes place. So we've got 3 marks here, 2 for the descriptions and 1 for clearly stating where it takes place. Normally they're the other way around in an answer. State where gaseous exchange takes place and describe the process of gaseous exchange. That would be a more common question. So here we need to be identifying that it takes place in the alveoli, and for 2 more marks, that oxygen is taken into the body and is exchanged, so therefore carbon dioxide is breathed out. There are further marks. So mark 1 for alveoli, 2nd mark for oxygen is taken in, and 3rd mark for carbon dioxide is breathed out. So we can be a bit more detailed within an exam answer about the capillaries and the alveoli with regards to that process. So quite an easy 3 marks. Breathing enables gaseous exchange. I'm going to underline. It's here again, so I'll do that one. Gaseous exchange to occur at the alveoli. It's already given us that. Outline how 2 features, again, features of the alveoli assist in gaseous exchange. Really similar to that first question we just looked at. Large surface area, great blood supply, lots of capillaries to enable that gaseous exchange to take place. This is more like an exam question you might see. Explain. So we're talking here more about our AO2. although the application is already in place. So explain is a really tricky key word, because sometimes it'll want you to give 4 points, sometimes it's 2 that are developed. Here, because it's already given us the context, it's more likely to be the second. So we're looking at the process of gaseous exchange, and we probably need 4 points. So it takes place through diffusion. Oxygen in the alveoli moves to the bloodstream. The oxygen concentration is lower in capillaries, so we've got that concentration gradient moving from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. And then the other part of this is carbon dioxide moves from capillaries into alveoli. We've got that gaseous exchange again from the bloodstream into the alveoli. And then in this case as well, the carbon dioxide concentration is lower in the alveoli, hence the movement from high to low concentration. So to summarise, gaseous exchange takes place in the alveoli. Very important to remember that. Very common exam question is identifying features of the alveoli in gaseous exchange. And then the other thing is you need to be really clear on the process with regards to oxygen and carbon dioxide and the movement of oxygen into the bloodstream via capillaries, and then carbon dioxide from bloodstream in terms of capillaries back into the alveoli so it can be expired. So be really clear on the process.